played exceptionally well. Diop was really, really good, and the other guys just kind of played within themselves. I thought we did a poor job of doing that, but the problem started with me, so it's blaming of the players. We didn't shoot it as well, but right before halftime, and I didn't agree with a couple of major calls. I'd do it again, but that was my fault. So I'll take the blame for it, deserve the blame for it. I don't know, they went on like a 12-0 run, but I think they scored 7 points in the last minute or 8. We made a very foolish play, taking a shot with 6 seconds left instead of, we knew to take a shot with 2 or 3 seconds left, and then they bank in a 3, and it was that kind of day. But I was disappointed that I felt our lack of offense dictated our defense, and that shouldn't happen. That should travel. As far as Nick Ward goes, give them credit. They did a good job on him. Give us blame. We did a poor job getting the ball. When he did kick it out, we didn't kick it back in. And I was actually last year very disappointed in how Nick handled things. I was actually very pleased with how Nick handled things. He still got 10 rebounds and fought in there. We didn't get him the ball. So the blame, I'm going to take a lot of the blame. Not to take any heat off my team, I don't do that, but that stretch I thought cost us a lot, and I was disappointed with the way it was being officiated at that point, and that call on Jackson I thought was not very good, and so I didn't handle it very well. Questions?
Tom, did you see any indications?
No. Don't go searching now. We're 15-2, and we had great practices. There was no thinking we're better than we are. There was none of that. We ran up against a team that played awfully well, and place was hopping. And I told you, this team has some. I think they're very young yet, and not as young in minutes played with all the sophomores playing a lot as freshmen, but very young as handling situations. And I questioned how we'd handle the ranking and dealing with all the fallout all around it. And I didn't think we handled it bad. We sure didn't handle it bad in how we practiced. We just didn't play very well tonight. We missed some good shots early, and it was a 3-4 point game. And then they let me in the game, and the game went to hell real quick.
How can you get Nick Ward involved when you're going to play him like today?
Oh, they doubled him after he touched it. We didn't get it to him in the first place. I just thought we did a poor job. We just come off with 30 assists and 32 baskets, and we had 15. We just dribbled the ball. We did not move the ball very well. We got very stagnant, very one-on-one-ish, which we haven't done all year. Give them credit for that. They did. Some of that was them, and give us blame for that. So, I'm not. Teams have taken Nick away a lot of different ways over the years, and they actually trapped late. And he just wasn't real patient with it. They didn't double him before he got the ball. We could have got him the ball. We weren't looking to get him the ball. We thought a couple of our guys didn't look in there and see it when we needed to, and we'll correct that.
You guys haven't played this sort of environment this year. How much did that play a role in just sort of being shaken in those moments where something goes from, like you were talking about the end of the first half, from 2 points to 12?
Well, it's a good excuse. We haven't, and I said that honestly. That's the difference with having a bunch of young guys. I think a lot of teams have a bunch of young guys around the country. That's why I think now we're the 17th team that lost this week of ranked teams. It's kind of unheard of, and I think it's because a lot of teams have the same situation, whether it be Arizona or Duke or this team or that team or Michigan State. We did they had some veterans, and I give Chris a lot of credit, but I also say, last year when we played here, they had a player that, was talented, but maybe not as good a team player, and those 2 stars tonight weren't playing half the year. So as much as I give Chris credit, I think Thad did the right thing, getting rid of who he got rid of, and then could have had those 2 guys back. It's got some juniors and seniors on it that are damn good. Chris has done a good job with them, and Diop is effective player. I thought it hurt us to get Jaren Jackson in foul trouble. but we're gonna have to get better at that.
Tom, can you,
The first 4 minutes, your guys were all over the rim offensively, second chances and point-blank looks. It seemed like after that first time out, you didn't get that access. Was it a change by Ohio State defensively?
I thought some of it was a change by us. I'm sure some of it was a change by them, but I thought we just quit moving the ball. I mean, we were moving the ball. You're right. We felt, even at halftime, we felt we had more than a few open looks. We didn't make shots. The ball was moving not as good, but it was moving decently. And then we got down. We just kind of went to a one-on-one game, and that's not our game. So I'm sure Ohio State made some adjustments. We didn't run very good, which we're very good at. But when they're making shots, you don't run as good. And what did they shoot the first half? 46. We shot 44. You know, other than that splurge that Izzo offense for Ohio State. We weren't awful the first half, and but then they came out and scored some buckets. Somebody said they hit 10 out of 11 shots in the end of the first and beginning of the second, or something like that. So credit goes to them. Some blame goes to me. The team didn't play as good.
You mentioned looking at last year's game. I mean, there was that hot start you guys got off to, kind of like tonight, and you went to the bench and they lost the lead. I guess kind of run through that sequence, maybe at that 4-minute mark, what happened there. And then you kind of also alluded to the start of the second half, too.
Well, I don't know, because Bob, I know you're pretty thorough on what you do, and you guys are too, but wasn't it a 2-point game most 90% of the first half?
It was like 11-4 the game.
No, but I said, what was the score with 2 minutes left in the half?
Oh, it was tied.
So I don't think anything happened, to be honest with you. I mean, you know, they're a good team, we're a good team. You know, 11-4 because they missed some shots and we made some shots, but you know, if you're asking me if I subbed wrong, I'll blame me for the technical, but I'm not blaming me for my substitution pattern, because that's what's been so good about this team. Our bench has been good. So Kenny didn't play very well. You know, Tom didn't play exceptionally well, and Cueto didn't play very well. But that's the way we play, and it'll continue. So, want to hit on that? I'm cool with it.
Tom, I know you said you think they handled the ranking and all that fine this week.
Yeah.
Do you buy into any of this at all, that maybe something like this isn't the worst thing, a humbling?
No, I don't. Sorry, I don't buy into that either. You can't be a top team if you know, we learned our lessons last year. We got our butts kicked enough last year to learn. And you know what? The reason I have no problem with the week or questioning whether we're looking at the rankings or reading our press clippings is we practiced really, really well. Focused, practiced hard, pleased with everything we did as far as that goes. I just think, you know, maybe the first time that we had to deal with, you know, as Dwayne Stevens says, welcome to being good. You know, this is what's going to happen every night, and it'll happen to Ohio State now too. You know, when you're 15-2, 14-3, you know, 15-3, they'll get ranked and deserving they should be. You know, you got to handle things a little differently because you're going to get somebody else's best shot. I thought we got the crowd's best shot. I think we got their team's best shot, and they deserved what they got, and we deserved what we got.
You mentioned the lack of offense dictating defense. I wonder, had you been curious to kind of see how this group would react when the 7 for 25 night comes?
Yeah, I was, and it's not something I want to see again, you know. So I didn't like the way we handled it. It was nobody pouting, nobody just firing shots. I just didn't think we were moving the ball. We weren't screaming. We kind of took ourselves out of it, and so. But if you really looked at the whole thing, and I'm not saying this, if somebody thinks I'm blaming me to take the pressure off my guys, the way I abuse my guys in public, that ain't happening, okay? I said that because I took the wind out of their sail, and I didn't do a very good job. and consequently, they didn't do a very good job. I always said with our point guards, when the head dies, the body goes. Well, I'll say with the coaching staff, when the head coach cuts his head off, the body kind of dies, and that's your team. So it just seemed like it'd be hard to blame the players for that when I thought that stretch right there, a couple tough calls, about a couple moving screens on the base on Jaren's, you know, maybe I'm wrong on it, but, you know, I thought this day and age, I think that's worthy of, I don't know, maybe assault battery, I don't, you know, maybe find something. And we're getting to the point where we put our arms up and we think that's okay, just if we move a long distance. And I, you know, like I said, I saw it the way I saw it, I said what I said, and deserved the technical, but want my mother to know I didn't swear at him.
Tom, you coached against KC up a couple times now, and you've obviously seen some of the best players in the country throughout the season. Just what's your assessment of maybe his improvement that he made this year?
Well, I think being healthy, you know, I recruited Diop. You know, I liked him as a freshman. I really did, but I think he's improved his game, and I think what I like about his game is his mid-range game is the best part of his game. You know, and not many guys are like that. He's very patient in there, and you know, we didn't do a great job on him. We gave him a couple that were just wide open. We were over helping on people, but I was impressed. Yeah, I thought he did a great job. He's made himself a better player, but I think 2/3 of that is he's 100% healthy, which he hasn't been that often, especially all of last year.
Got time for one or two more, Gerard?
Tom, you and Thad had a lot of great games against each other over the years. Just this Ohio State basketball program, is this a program that feels like it should play at the top of the league when things are going right here? I know it's just Chris's first year and it's just one game.
Oh, 100%. With the AD they got, the facilities they got, they have, you know, I don't think there's any question. And I think for the most part Thad had it there. You know, I really do. I mean, he played for some championships. He played in Final Fours. You know, it was a tough go last year with, you know, sometimes when you get caught, kids leaving early, the way things go, you take kids that maybe you shouldn't take, and I've done that too a few times in my career. When that happens, it destroys a lot of things. And you add those 2 injuries, I mean, and if you really look back on a number of games, they were right in and just couldn't get over the hump. You know, I thought he did a great job, and I think Chris, he left them something nice to work with, and I think he's done a good job in carrying that. But Ohio State, are you kidding me? With the fan base, with the, you know, we've proven you can have a good football team and a good basketball team, and so has Ohio State. They've been a good basketball program, you know, and I don't see any reason why they can't even build on that even more. You know, you got a great administration and great support like they have here. There's no reason why they can't.
I'll make real quick. When you think about the things that in the past that have frustrated him, to see him tonight, it seems like there were points he could have, you know, gone to that place again and
right.
been frustrated and kind of.
Well, that's what I said. There's a positive for me with Nick. He was 10 times better than last year. You know, this year it was us. Last year was Nick. And that shows great maturity on Nick's part. You know, and still battled for 10 rebounds. It wasn't one huddle, he said one word. And I really, as everybody's, it's well documented since our meeting in Rutgers, I've been really, really pleased with the way Nick has worked, handled things, worked on his free throws. And tonight, under a tough situation for him, that he handled it extremely well.
With Miles, you got aggressive late in the game there a little bit. Is that something you wanted to see more of early?
Yeah, I did not think Miles had one of his better games, or even close to it, you know. And I just thought that if you really looked at everything, I mean, even when we were tied, you know, I mean, just because we got up 11-4, and you're going to make a run, basketball's a game of runs. But I just felt like, you know, it seemed like I got us out of sync there a little bit, and that's when we didn't do a good job moving the ball and all that. and let the zebras get, you know, in the way of me doing my job and my players doing their job, and that's, so Nick was more mature this year and Tom was less mature. And so maybe Nick will sit down with me, and like we did at Rutgers, and maybe he'll tell me a few things, and maybe I'll do a better job from here on out too.